Anyway, there is one soundtrack to the game that will be playing not on repeat for it, but I'm going to have to do some audio messing with. And since there's a lot of story, I will be reading them out loud for those who don't feel like reading for themselves. / we're going to pause a lot, but if this repeat thing pops up, then I'll end it there. Or I will, if a repeat thing pops up, I won't bother reading it. So first things first.
Okay.
First things first, a letter. Dear BrainBoy, this is a very early build of Cultist Simulator, a game about meddling with things best left alone. There's only a fraction of the eventual content here, and there are all sorts of placeholders, but there's enough for you to complete a modest goal or two. To die if you don't feed yourself properly, and above all, to get a sense of what's coming later. Want to see more? Click the Kickstarter button. Dream furiously. Alexis.
Hello.
Salutations. Okay.
I was getting tired of the beta version of Twitch. They removed the pop-out chat.
Ah, okay. That's weird. Let's take Cultist Simulator down. How is that, music-wise? Could do with a little bit dropping. Alright, so for Cultist Simulator proper, we already saw this screen before because you're given the same startup no matter what you do.
You might want to turn down the sound a wee bit.
I have. Remember, it takes 15 seconds for you to catch up. Like, you'll see where we are at soon, and I turned it down to, like, 1/5 of what it originally was.
Okay, I was just saying because the clicking sound that was going at the beginning was quite loud.
The game does that whenever you start an action, so we'll see how loud it is anyway. So...
Okay, this is not the Cultist Simulator I thought you were playing.
No. This is better.
I thought it was the one we were stuck, where everyone was stuck on the island and you sacrifice the people from a certain family.
No, it's not that one. Haven't even heard of that one. Anyway, so this Cultist Simulator, since it plays like Sunless Sea, I'll begin by reading off everything that's happening. So currently, Time Passes is the only real passage of time in the game, which you can always pause and consider your options. So in Time Passes, you need money to live to pay for food, but I'm hoping for a parting gift from my correspondent soon, which is previous characters in the future. You also have work, where you can earn your living or practice your arts. And dream, to rest, reconsider your priorities, or risk yourself in exploration of the kingdoms of sleep. Because there's not much we can really do at this point in time, what I'm actually going to do is use our reason no living live organism can continue for long to exist sanely under conditions of absolute reality. I'll use my reason to go look for a job, find clerical work, which will spare my body if not my mind. And I would go into the realm of dreams, but there's not much point to do so. The note, my correspondent is gone, the pneumonia, they tell me, but the dreams are not. Recall my dreams. There was a wood, a light, a house without walls. And time gets to continue passing for an eternity. From there, every night I'm closer, but every day the dreams curl to ash. It's useless. I've work to do, if I want to eat. An acquaintance! Someone has struck up a conversation with me. How interesting. I didn't realize I could actually get talking conversations from this. But Glover and Glover have offered me a junior position. I could start immediately. Scratching of pens, the sourness of the dust, the sighing of the younger Glover, the greedy gurgling of the elder. This still feels a little bit loud to me, so I'm going to actually turn it down a little bit more. That's 0.
Yeah, it's still quite a bit loud.
I have no choice but to do the volume mixer, which is very annoying to work with. We have the ability to talk.
I know.
So, why not? We'll discuss a culty business with this fine gentleman that I have. The scratching of pens and the greed. I'll toss my reason into this to improve my diligence. I will work whatever overtime the elder Glover requires. Perhaps he'll appreciate it. A legacy arrives.
We're aiming to form the biggest cult ever, or?
We're aiming to... Well, you'll see in a second, our actual objective will arrive soon. Currently, we're just running through what is effectively the self-taught tutorial of the game. And plus, this, once again, should take not longer than 30 minutes, barring extreme unluckiness. So, a legacy arrives. My package has arrived. I must study it. Unlock books and other treasures through the now unlocked study action. If I experiment further, I may find another combination. There will be a great many more combinations in the final game.
I have to whip a cat. They just knocked down my TV.
Ah, well, good luck with that. I will be continuing this anyway, for the sake of others. I'm going to examine my legacy, employing passion. I'll read, theorize, pace, sketch, clutch at my hair in wonder, rise in elation, collapse in despair. This fleeting memory will burn away in time. But that's not particularly awful. We're discussing a culty business with Leo the Acquaintance. I would dream of my passions, but without much more reason, I can't do any of the fanatical dreaming that results in something usable. Unfortunately. Just a fact of life. A little money, and a journal plucked from the fire. Only a dozen pages remain unburnt, but it's enough to confirm my suspicions. My correspondent knew of powers that generals and kings would envy. If you'll excuse me for a moment. There we go. My correspondent knew of powers that generals and kings would envy. If only I could follow in their footsteps. There is a note here, directions to a bookshop that does not advertise its wares. Some extra funding, but that would have been covered soon enough. Directions to Moorlands. A notion of power, and our passion, once again. We'll study the directions to Moorland right here. The directions to Moorland shop are cryptic. When one deals in the kinds of books my correspondent studied, one must be circumspect. Anyway, Pudero, if you... hang on. I'm just going to wait for a second because his cat knocked over the TV, and then I'll unmute him in a minute so I don't hear everything in the background. Parted lips, glittering eyes, inspiration. Now, I'm going to need this mystique. I'll have you talk again, because I have a plan. But I need to use the mystique for something. My money disappears, but that's not a humongous issue as of now. The directions to Moorland Shop, not Moriarty, to Moorland Shop are cryptic. Find Moorland Shop. An ill-lit street, at an ill-favored bend in a lesser river. A soft yellow light through a grimy window. Miss Moorland nods as I enter, but doesn't rise. I never ask the names of my clients, she informs me, before I have the time to introduce myself. Explore a wider world. Explore action most often used with locations with followers to find those locations. Okay, you're back now. Fair enough.
They knocked down my second TV, which is a very old TV, one of the first LCDs, because I'm surprised I turned it on and it's still working.
Well, congratulations.
After falling down a 4-foot drop.
Congratulations, is all I can really say. We're gonna hope for a promotion at Glover and Glover's because I would like a little bit more funding than one would traditionally have. He did not appreciate it. I only got one bout of funding.
So, what's the current plot going?
We are currently trying to get ourselves promoted at work so we can get more funding so I can care a little bit less. I want to hold on to the mystique, so I'll put the mystique in the study action so it doesn't degrade while it's there, even if it locks down the action, which is a nice little thing I found. We currently have one of our acquaintances that I'm currently working alongside of talking to, trying to build up some mystique and mysticism that they'll gladly follow through for. However,
I swear this seems familiar.
It shouldn't, considering the game's in Kickstarter as of about a month ago.
I swear there was a free version of something similar to this.
Yeah, it's free. Like the download...
No. I'm talking about very a while in text form.
Oh, hi there. How many negatives did I just get here? Sickness and an acquaintance. Well...
This is made by the same guy that made Sunless Sea, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he had a very basic, very basic demo version in text on his site at one point.
He did. My apologies. I looked this up and he did have something to that effect. This is his more, here's what it's going to look like at the end, with the end result.
Because I did play that, and oh my god, it was so easy to get your entire cult destroyed.
It's still somewhat easy to do so. It's somewhat easy to do so here, unless you're taking the precautions that I am. I mean, I've got some notoriety that I have to wait to burn away. But regardless, a moonlit road. The road crests the hilltop. The air is silver bright. Some sickness has unfortunately befallen me, which is going to take some health away. And I'm going to need to fix the affliction soon by dreaming. And we'll have an acquaintance join us soon regardless. Victor, join me. Oh, you have Edge, if I remember correctly. I think. I need to get him into my cult, but I don't have one yet, so it's going to take some time. If I could just get the... Sorry, my brain is shut down. If I could just get the promotion so I can get a little bit more money, that'd be phenomenal.
Hopefully you can.
I mean, yes, it's still up to random chance ultimately, but one can dream, can't he? Also, I should change this to Cultist Simulator, although I don't know if Twitch will take it.
Who knows? Hell, the name itself might cause Twitch to ban the game.
Please choose a supported game. That's annoying. Is there one for variety? You know, I'm just going to leave it up there as Cultist Simulator. If I could create a category, that'd be great. I know it's not a supported name. It goes back to Heroes.
Wait. Try... I don't... Well...
Because this is clearly not Heroes of the Storm anymore, and I don't want to do that.
It looks like a card game, so try card game. Card games.
Fair enough. Card games, indeed.
You're not playing a children's card game, but it works.
I mean, if I could somehow port my Magic deck to online, I would gladly play a children's card game. A moonlit road, rumpled fields, the wink of a river, a tingling chill. Well, I'm happy, I think. Some contentment comes to me. Promotion. Promotion. Give me the promotion. Yes! A promotion! The Elder Glover has called me into his office to congratulate me on my diligence. I watch the mole on his neck as he talks and talks and talks, but at the end of it, I have a promotion. My new position is better paid, and the desk stands by the street window. Position...
Now, just don't get caught dragging people into your cult.
I work longer hours now, but they're better paid. So, now with this, I'll gladly drop another bit of reason in there for extra hours. But I'm going to explore Moreland's shop, putting a little bit of money in there, and see what book I can find. Ooh, some Mystique. That's the other one I need. Sickness has ravaged my body. I'll take the affliction, and then I'm going to rest it off immediately. Oh, do I need to spend money? Can I not spend contentment? I can't spend contentment. I actually need to spend money on this. There's a time and space for everything. 'Tis annoying. I don't know if that'll kill me. I hope it doesn't. I mean, if it kills me, that'd be impressive.
You never know unless you try. You never know unless you try.
Let's see here. I've already started, so... I'll drop the Mystique out here, move the Mystique to the Explore action, and let's understand Latin grammar. I'll recall a certain amount from my school days, but I need to brush up. That mystique will disappear. I'll put it on the talking action instead so I don't accidentally lose any of it. Because that funding is going to be drained into time passing. That'll be wasted, but it's probably not going to become worse for whatever reason. Unless I get another bout of sickness, in which case then it's basically guaranteed lethal. Disappointingly lethal, but lethal nonetheless.
Hey.
Okay, no more sickness.
If it doesn't kill you, it only makes you stronger.
Now, there's some people who will actually say that that's a lie, and that I would gladly fall with. There are things that can in fact not kill you, but only make you weaker. For instance, cancer and chemotherapy permanently damaging the muscle.
Tell that to my father, who's still lifting quite heavy objects at age 50.
I'm saying on average. Not the entire spectrum, it's just on average it normally makes someone infinitely weaker.
Although, not permanently, it's only temporarily weakness.
Of course.
Chemo.
We'll try to recover again. We've got a fleeting memory, but I don't think the fleeting memory is going to be enough to heal, unless it allows me to. Nope. But we'll have our money soon, and we'll be able to clear out this infestation and heal ourselves up in just a moment's time. Ah! The younger Glover has taken me out to lunch at his club, and I'm to do more of the things that I do, more carefully, and in return he'll give me a little more money that I earn for him. 4 amounts of funds, senior position, but takes more time. Curl my hands into the correct shapes, and begin. Disappointing, because I could devote my passions to it. Or my passions to working at Glover and Glover. Or Glover and Glover, but that is not necessarily a good idea. Understandably. Because that means, why would I be passionate for looking for the unnatural?
You never know, unless you try.
No, I know exactly what this does. It gives you one of the possible game overs.
Ooh.
But it's not a game over that I'm looking for. We're looking to let the Eldritch power course. As such...
Instead of deciding, Eldritch is not so fun. Let's become... I don't know.
People.
Who would ever want to be normal?
I do sometimes. But I know that doesn't work out for me.
And then you decide normality's boring.
Of course.
We all know.
Ah, suspicions of the authorities. Well, as long as I don't gain any notoriety, this should be fine. Ah, excellent. The sick room glows close and stale. Time to get up. At least I've got some health remaining. I should be able to get away with exploring more of Moreland's shop. Hopefully to get some of the books, but I always am doubtful of doing so. At least I would love to acquire a few more bits of erudition so I could, I don't know, turn it into some form of power ultimately. And maybe it'll be time to actually set up my cult and turn these people into believers that I could throw under the bus if necessary.
Yes, sacrifice those who are unworthy to the great dark powers of our god.
We need at least 2. The orchid in Latin. Well. Look what the cat dragged in. Let's drop the mystique, move the orchid transfigurations over there, and then I can use my little just gained scholarly knowledge of Latin to seem unlikely that this is Flood. Flood would write better Latin. So I'll translate the book.
Just remember to sacrifice Bob first.
There's no Bob here. There's Leo and Victor.
Okay, sacrifice Leo first.
I
It
don't...
seems a bit off.
You're just giving me suggestions without understanding the finer points of this. I want people who are off. They're much less likely to go to the authorities and be believed. The finer things of life of a cult is that you take those who will not have any of their pleadings believed, and then when they have nowhere else to turn, offer them solutions. I am always the last to leave, even after the Elder Glover. Or Glover. I've got some funding. I'll put the senior position in again, though, because you don't know how much money you actually need. And it takes 150 seconds to actually make all this money. Making ends meet is unfortunately something very annoying to follow up on. However, hopefully this translation will give me some amount of erudition that I could turn into another amount of reason, so I could start exploring the land of dreams with no problems. Ah.
I don't know, you'll always find a problem.
Translate this volume of the Orchid Transfigurations. Feast. I've translated and annotated my copy. Now I can study it. The illustrations are certainly striking. They flush the skin and glow beneath the eyelids after the book is closed. Glimmering. Just a few idle thoughts and ideas before it transforms itself into passion, the driving force of men. And my notoriety will soon disappear. And we'll even have funding built up just in case they try to question me, so I could pay them off in some shady back alley deal. How nice. Unfortunately, erudition and glimmering are completely useless on their own. I need more of them, and I need the books to be able to translate them. But such is life. I can't always get what I want. It'd be very interesting. Just a small event where time itself is paused, yet you can still do actions. Like, notoriety will never increase or something like that while time is paused. Admittedly, yes, I know I can freeze time as well. I have the world at my command, but... We must devour to be devoured. We cannot be undevoured, as we cannot be unborn. The Delightful Sacrament. Knowledge of my cult. And one more piece of glimmering. Excellent, some passion to drive me. So, very interesting question indeed. I don't have anything to study, but I definitely have some funding available as of right now. So let us go and toss that under the bus into Morland's shop once again. A little bit of fun. Spend a little money to make a bit of progress after all.
You always have to spend money to make money.
I wish I could do that in this game. Like, if I could have a small banking thing where I could basically put some money away and there's a chance that I could make some extra, that'd be great. Now, I've got the two Mystiques. I've actually got the Delightful Sacrament, which I think is what was necessary to actually build my cult. It should be a collection of poetry. Ah, I didn't read it. My mistake. I apologize to those on YouTube who are interested. But we're dancing around the subject. Let's take a quick look at this poetry here. Influence and inspiration. I'll stoke my fire or sink my well deeper. At least improve our passions. It's not great, but having an extra point of passion never hurt. I wish there was more I could do with it, but having a little bit more inspiration doesn't suck.
To truly discover anything, one must have a passion for it, so...
Fair enough. Much like people have a passion for me. By the way, you can find more of this stuff at BrainBoy at youtube.com/BrainBoy2020.
And if you enjoy this grating voice of mine, I'm in half of the newer content.
Thereabouts. Thereabouts, unfortunately.
Mm,
Oh, what? Not trying to call me out on it?
not even gonna bother.
Saddening. So we'll read the collection of poetry, which should turn to one more passion. I don't know what else it might bring, though. I honestly don't recall if it does bring anything else. Although I've got funding available. So I'll actually turn this I'll turn this into another time to visit Moreland's shop. It's currently, this is the grinding section. Oh yes, sorry. It takes time to sort the gold from the dross, the wheat from the chaff, the blood from the river. If I buy enough books, I'll find something interesting. Even if it's merely just a collection of poetry. I'm more than what I was. Passion. Now, there isn't a lot of use for it. I could definitely shove it through the work ethic thing to try to create some form of painting. Possibly. Can I study the Delightful Sacrament? The succulent lore. Could be good, but I need another piece of lore before even attempting it. Which is unfortunate to me, but just for you all to see what goes on. The locksmith's dream alight through the keyhole. I think the first volume of Teresa Galmer's examination of parallels in the mystic dreams of artisans. Interesting. This book I remember was key to winning one of my playthroughs. Well, nice to know that we're making some amount of progress. If it's a bit slow.
Even if it's slow, progress is progress. Another step to the future.
The notion I can't use for anything until the very end. My passions cannot drive me anywhere else. Whoa, 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 whoa. I did not know this was here. Interesting. Explore my instincts. What might I become if I do what I desire? I was not aware this was a thing. Well, I'll take a look at least. Alright, I should finish with this bit of working soon, which will give me just a tad bit more money to work with, and who knows, maybe exploring my instincts might actually give me something usable. Maybe. I mean, if it paints me... Studying the succulent lore. I've learned nothing of practical use. What if I combine this with other lore? The locksmith's dream alight through the keyhole. No one has ever explained why Galmier devoted herself to this quixotic exploration of artisans' dreams. Hopefully some amount of erudition is gained. That would be so helpful and useful to acquire.
So, Leo and Victor are cultists.
No, they're acquaintances. They're not cultists yet.
Okay. Just wondering.
I can take some time. So, let's see. If I put the succulent lore... No, it's not it. Mystique. That's right. That's what I needed. So, take Mystique. I need assistants, companions, followers. So, we'll see what we can gain from this, and keep our funding on... not the down low, but just... we'll not spend any of it here unless we must. Found a society, tradition and compulsion. Old, new, or both together. You'll need lore to determine a founding principle for the cult. Choose founding principles. Our doctrine, the Delightful Sacrament. Establish the Order of the Bloody Cup. Ah yeah, so now that that's over and done with, we'll go back to our senior position. There's my reason. I definitely need that to continue my work. Now, what do I find here? Averted faces, widening eyes, notoriety. Well, I can at least put used to notoriety, to a certain degree. Now, where is Moreland's shop? Since that went by that fast, we might as well search and explore. An occult society dedicated to the mysteries of birth, blood, and appetite. However, in the Alpha, all cults are effectively identical. Delightful Sacrament, with the Order of the Bloody Cup following us. Quite a sacred chalice, if I do say so myself.